might be trying to generate leads or simply get started building an audience. Either way, a great LinkedIn presence is a very profitable asset for you and your business. I've built my business with LinkedIn, and I've helped several other companies use LinkedIn as another channel within their demand generation activities. But creating content and doing LinkedIn is much more than just sitting down and cranking up words. To create content that truly converts, helps you build an audience, and generate leads, you really need to have a solid strategy behind. So, this is how you can create your own LinkedIn strategy. Step 1 is all about aligning your activities with your business goals. These business goals often come in the form of revenue-driven KPIs like pipeline or revenue. And without knowing beforehand what KPIs the business is tracking, you risk investing time and effort and money in a channel that is not aligned with your goals. And especially if you're running marketing for a startup, you need to show the board how the activities you are doing relate to their board higher level KPIs. And so the first step is always understanding what types of goals is the business tracking and how you can use your LinkedIn content and activities to feed those KPIs. The second step is a content audit. And basically, a content audit simply means auditing or reviewing every single piece of content that it's been created before. And the reason why you want to audit what's been done is because you don't want to be creating every single thing from the ground up. Especially if you already invested so many resources in creating great content, there's no reason why you shouldn't really tap into those resources. And these usually come in the form of blog posts, white papers, case studies, email sequences, videos, podcasts, you name it. Everything you've already created is very useful to feed your content in the future and to align with the overall strategy. So always start this step by cataloging everything that's been created on your company. The third step is all about marketing personas. So after you've done your content audit, you also know your business goals, it's time to define your target audience. And of course, to do this marketing personas, you should always start with user research first. If you already have some user research, make sure to use it to inform your marketing personas, but this process should be straightforward in the sense that you want to fill in the details about your ideal customer. You know, both demographics, which is just the basics, and psychographics. Now, the demographics usually focus more on the hard data. So how old are they? Where do they live? What is their job? How much money do they make in their jobs? Something along those lines. Basically, you're trying to get this basic information. And demographics is a great starting point, but it's not enough. Take a look at this example. We have Prince Charles, which is now actually King Charles, and we have Ozzy Osbourne, and they share the exact same demographics. But you really know that they are not that similar. So to really grasp the entirety of your marketing persona, you need to nail your psychographics. So their interests, their behaviors, their fears, their pain points, their motivations, their jobs to be done. These are all things that help you fully understand your persona. And then you want to be obsessed with their online behavior. So what types of content do they like? What do they read online? What types of newspapers? What types of websites? What types of social platforms? So essentially, you want to be obsessed with your customers and build this marketing persona that will then help you inform what type of content will resonate the most with this target audience. And in order to find all of these gems about their online behavior, I highly recommend SparkToro. They have an incredible platform that helps you find these hidden gems about your audience. So you can just, for example, search for financial advisor in the SparkToro search bar, and you will find what types of patterns, what types of things is this group of people really looking at online. And in an instant, you get a pretty accurate overview of how your audience behaves online. And this will obviously, again, inform your content and everything you do on LinkedIn. Because remember, the goal of a persona is not to stay on a lost PDF in your computer. The goal of a marketing persona is to help you take smarter actions and create assets that your audience will love. Now that you've discovered your ideal audience, it's time to think about content pillars. And content pillars are basically just overall topics that we are going to cover on our LinkedIn content. And they will help us stay consistent and make people associate our names or our brand with those topics. And so when creating your content pillars, I highly recommend you to focus in the services you offer in your industry and also in your differentiator. So a financial investor who helps recent parents who have money to invest could focus on these 3 content pillars. Building an investment portfolio for parents, which is tied to their offer. Second, they could talk about stocks and market opportunities. And this is tied to industry expertise and their niche expertise. And finally, personal finances for recent parents, which again highlights the target audience and creates content that they want to read. And so by creating content that focuses on these pillars, this financial advisor will make sure that the content she is creating is targeted to their target audience. And she's basically solving a bunch of objections and educating their prospects way before they decide to hop on a call with her. Now, you don't need to stay religiously focused on your content pillars. You can talk about things that are slightly different from time to time. What you don't want to forget is your audience. You always want to have the frame of your audience. How would my audience think of this content piece? How would my audience react if I posted this? How would my audience feel after seeing this online? And this is really the framing that you want to put every time you create a piece of content. Now, let's talk about posting frequency, which is a question I get a lot. In general, posting 3 to 5 times a week on LinkedIn is great. I have periods where I stay on the lower side, so 3 posts. Other times I'll go up to the 5 to 6 posts every week. It really depends on your current goals and how you want to follow up the strategy and for how many months. And so if you are a content team of 1 and you're just trying to build your business, perhaps you can just do 3 posts a week. And that's totally okay. If you already have, the foundations, a ton of content to repurpose, you can go to 5 posts a week, as long as you don't diminish the quality of the content. So I would say it's best to post less, but to keep the quality high. You are essentially progressing slower, that's true, but you're building the muscle, you're building the discipline. And it's way better to do this slowly than doing it crazily in the first week and then giving up after a couple of weeks. Now, the truth about posting content online is that it's not enough to post content. Every time you're using social media, think of these 2 terms, social and media. Social means you need to be social, and media needs you producing content and media to the platform. And so most people prefer to focus on the media side, and they completely ignore the social side. So instead of just posting and ghosting, you need to create what I call an engagement strategy. And essentially what you want is to select a group of relevant people in your niche, in your industry, from your target audience, in which you are going to engage with their content. So you're going to like, comment, send DMs occasionally, so you stay top of mind and you help your content get traction too. You don't need to overthink this. Think about being social on social media. That's exactly what it means, but you really should try to bring the social side to this platform. But I know it's easier said than done. So how do you go from this strategy that we've just covered to creating your first posts? Check out this video where I cover 5 types of posts that help you build an